Jasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Bolo Jasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parveshakacharya, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are beginning of a new chapter, chapter 25. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, chapter 24. Not 24, 25, sorry. The description of the characteristics of King Puranjana. Maitreya uvacha iti sandishya bhagavan barhishadair avipujita Pashyatam Rajaputranam Tatrayavantan Ardhade Hare Tatrayavantar Dadhe Hare Maitreya uvacha iti sandishya bhagavan barhishadair avipujita Pashyatam Rajaputranam Tatrayavantar Dadhe Hare Maitreya uvacha iti sandishya bhagavan barhishadair avipujita Pashyatam Rajaputranam Tatrayavantar Dadhe Hare Maitreya uvacha iti sandishya bhagavan barhishadair avipujita Pashyatam Rajaputranam Tatrayavantar Dadhe Hare. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Iti, thus, Sandishya, giving instruction. Bhagavan, the most powerful Lord. Barhishadai, but the sons of King Barhishat. Avipujita, being worshipped. Pashyatam, while they were looking on. Rajaputranam, the sons of the king. Tatra, there. Eva, certainly. Antardadhe, became invisible. Hare, Lord Shiva. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued speaking to Vidura. My dear Vidura, in this way Lord Shiva instructed the sons of King Barishat. The sons of the king also worshipped Lord Shiva with great devotion and respect. Finally, Lord Shiva became invisible to the princess. Repeat, the great sage Maitreya continued speaking to Vidura. My dear Vidura, in this way Lord Shiva instructed the sons of King Barishat. The sons of the king also worship Lord Shiva with great devotion and respect. Finally, Lord Shiva became invisible to the princess. Purport. This chapter contains a great lesson concerning the monarchical kingdom in the days of yore. When King Barishat was considering retiring from the royal duties, he sent his sons to perform austerities in order to become perfect kings for the welfare of the citizens. At the same time, King Barishat was being instructed by the great sage Narada about the material world and the living entity who want to enjoy it. It is therefore very clear how the kings and princes were trained to take charge of a kingdom. Welfare activities for the benefit of the citizens were aimed at understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The human form of life is specially meant for understanding God, our relationship with Him, and our activities in His service. Because the kings took charge of the spiritual education of the citizens, both the king and the citizens were happy in Krishna consciousness. In this regard, he should remember that the monarchical hierarchy of Parjanya Barishat come from Maharaj Dhruva, a great devotee of the Lord and the most celebrated disciple of Narada Muni. King Parjanya Barishat was then too much engaged in fruitive activities due to performing different types of yagyas. One can actually be promoted to higher planetary systems or to the heavenly kingdom by performing various yagyas. But there is no question of liberation or going back to Godhead, back home to Godhead. When the great sage Narada saw the descendant of Maharaj Dhruva was being misled by fruitive activities, Narada took compassion upon him and personally came to instruct him about the ultimate benediction of life, Bhakti Yoga. How Narada Muni indirectly introduced the Bhakti Yoga system to King Parjanya Barishat is very interestingly described in this 25th chapter. Hare Krishna. I to speak a little bit on the glories of the Bhagavatam. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, he is always giving us wonderful instructions how to elevate ourselves in Krishna consciousness, spiritual life. So here, Narada Muni, a great devotee of Lord Krishna, he is instructing to the king Prajinabarishat, and the Prajapatis, the Prachetas, or the sons of the king of Prajinabarishat. So it will continue in this chapter regarding those instructions. So this is the first verse of the 25th chapter, and right here in the first chapter, it's being nicely explained that the explanation of devotional service, performance. The kings in the a long time ago, Prabhupada explains, the kings, they were Raja Rishis, they were saintly kings. They are not ordinary king like the kings today or not long ago. These kings, they knew the principles of dharma, religious principles, the purpose of human life, and that they themselves were exemplary kings. They were Krishna conscious, they were God conscious kings. So, obviously, like Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, whatever a great man does, common man follow in his footsteps. So kings, their duty is not only to be Krishna conscious themselves, but they were always showing example to others, to citizens, how to become Krishna conscious. That's what it means, a saintly king. A saintly king is he who is religious king, who teaches others about Bhagavan, about God. Because purpose, these kings, they are not ordinary king, like accumulating. They are just accepting the post on behalf of God to teach others about Krishna consciousness. This is actually in Satya Yuga, not in this age. Satya Yuga is a long time ago when people were already God conscious. You could walk down the road and everybody chant Hare Krishna to you. Like in the temple, say Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. That's Satya Yuga, when there was no irreligiosity, when everyone was God conscious. At that time, the kings were so Krishna conscious that they would make sure everybody is Krishna conscious. And they themselves was very exemplary devotees of Krishna. This is a leader, Krishna conscious leader. They don't have any desire to accumulate material wealth. They simply want to share Krishna consciousness. So Narada Muni, he's instructing these kings about religious principles. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he was to instruct the leaders of the society. In fact, he wanted to talk to all the leaders of society about Krishna. This is why whenever he went to a temple, he wanted the devotees to organize a meeting with someone, a VIP, or someone authority about Krishna consciousness. Because if leaders are Krishna conscious, then others will automatically, because they follow in their footsteps. Everything starts from the top, as we say. So, in Krishna consciousness, everybody is a leader, because our duty, Jare Deka Tare Kao Krishna Upadesh, whomever we meet, we have to tell them others about Krishna consciousness, others about God. So, in that respect, we are like a leader. So Narada Muni, he used to travel. He has a spiritual body. And he went all over the universe, planet to planet, preaching Krishna consciousness. And the beginning of the creation, it's mentioned, Brahma was created. And from Brahma, he created, different manus and different creators who fill up the universe. So there was great personalities in the beginning. They are intelligent. It's mentioned here that they are very intelligent people. Like the other day Maharaj was saying that, Rasayana Maharaj was saying that sometimes people in the modern age, people think that beginning of the creation, that they were unintelligent people. That's why they call it Darwin's theory. We came from the monkey. And Prabhupada said, you came from the monkey, not me. He used to challenge them. So I didn't come from the monkeys. So they always think that the beginning of the creation, if at all that creation exists, if the universe was exist, because their theory is that everything just came about by accident. Bang theory. But every intelligent person knows nothing comes by accident. And Prabhupada actually explains that the living entities were created, we are created by our karma. So there's always very complex. It's not that everyone just takes birth. If that's the case, then everyone would be the same. Everybody's the same because there's no karma. Karma means there is complicated results of our results, which we are here to enjoy the fruits of the karma we perform in the past life. So people don't believe in the past life. If you don't believe in the past life, then we are here today. It's because of the past we are here today. So there is always cause and effect. That's what karma means, cause and effect. So whatever you do, there's a reaction that you'll have to enjoy or suffer, depending on the good or bad results. So creation means Dharyate Jagat. Krishna created this universe for us to live in this universe and live in this world for us to enjoy. Dharyate. So He's holding up this universe. We are holding it up because of our desire. Because you want to enjoy, you have the desire, then there has to be manifestation of a place where you can enjoy that. Exercise your free will to enjoy separately from Krishna so that there is this material world. Just like you go to work, you work very hard to get a degree, and then you want to find a job after that, a good job where you can earn, isn't it? There's always work for your results. It doesn't come easy. And then you find a job, if you can find a job, and then you start a family, because you need to use the money, you have a family, and then family expands, just children, and a nice home, and you go on and on. So this is all expansion of your desire. Because of your desire, this world is created. Krishna created this world so we can be here and enjoy, try to enjoy. That's the main reason. So, the idea of Krishna's creation, Krishna has material creation and spiritual creation. Maya dakshana prakriti Shveta. The material world is working under the direction of Krishna's energy. Krishna is involved, his energy is working, but he himself, Krishna, he himself is free from this material world. He's enjoying in the spiritual world. That's why people criticize. In India, sometimes they say, if there is God, then why he is just enjoying, playing flute, and we are suffering? Why he didn't do anything about it? The other day, some people were challenging us. You guys chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Ram in the street, and there's climate change, and there's so many problems, and you just going Hare Krishna, just chanting Hare Krishna. You're not seeing the problems of this world. You're trying to escape from the problems. Actually, this is the way to bring the peace to the world. So, it starts in our consciousness. It starts in yourself. If you want to make any changes, you have to change yourself first. No use talking about climate change the world, change. You have to change yourself. When you change yourself, you can change others. This is what I'm saying in the beginning. A leader is one who set by his own example. Because everybody wants to glorify a leader because he deserves it. Like Srila Prabhupada, he's a perfect leader. Vaishnava, a great devotee of Krishna. He worked very hard to start these Hare Krishna movements. And Prabhupada used to, Srila Prabhupada those days in the 70s, they didn't have much like the Western world today. It was very simple back then. So they would offer him to ride in a limousine car. Now they have better limousine than before. So they said, Swamiji, you are a sadhu, you are a great devotee of Krishna, you are a saintly person. Why are you accepting such opulent car? You should be walking bare feet and live in the mountains and live a simple life. Prabhupada said, he said to the reporter that devotees, God rides in the airplane, spiritual airplane, made of gold. And my disciples are offering me this tin can machine. What is this? So, we are meant to offer representative of Krishna as good as God. But he is thinking, I'm accepting this service for the spread Krishna consciousness, for the pleasure of my spiritual master. He himself was detached from it. So this world we are living in today is a very complex world. It's a very complex ourself. We devotees, we are living in this world, but at the same time we are not attached to it. We are devotee many, many years, and we are still attached to that means we are not progressing. Like a hole in the bucket. You put water, it goes out. Bucket never fills up. Yeah. That's why you were wondering what's happening. Because there's a big hole on the bottom of the bucket. So you keep pouring water and it's just disappearing. The bucket is not filling up. So in our heart, there's a big hole. That hole is it's big gata, big well of desire. So desiring is material desire. So that's blocking our Krishna consciousness. That's blockage. Just like if you want a beautiful tree, then you have to make sure that you have to pull up the weeds around the plant. Otherwise it chokes. The weeds will choke the plant. And you have to water every day nicely. So Krishna consciousness process is the process of Bhakti Yoga. It's mentioned here, Bhakti Yoga. The whole idea of Krishna consciousness is to water that plant nicely. And one day I chant 16 rounds, next day I do 14 rounds. Or you catch up the next day because you're tired, you work too hard, and you don't have time to finish your rounds, so you'll do it the next day. You can't make adjustments like that. Today I'm very fired up. Next day, everything we keep steady. Just like we always make sure that we eat 3 times a day. I don't. I once a meal enough. If I'm not, so we make sure that we are healthy. We eat enough. So similarly, we also need to make sure that we are progressing spiritually. So the prachetas, the kings used to come, and they were, Narad Muni, great sages, used to come and instruct these kings. You are in Maya. You're too attached to your citizens. You're too attached to your country. Wake up. Those days the kings were devotees. They said, yes, Swamiji. Yes, Narada Muni, yes. If we went to the government today and tell like this, they will kick you out. You couldn't say. We have to preach very systematically, in a very like round. You have to go common clothes and don't tell them you're a devotee, and you just show them how to do yoga and some meditation, and then slowly you teach them about Krishna. But those days, you can tell them directly. And the kings would make sure, the citizens would make sure that the kings would make sure the citizens would be chanting Hare Krishna. If we don't go on a Harinam, the kings would make sure that you go on Harinam, everybody, all citizens. That was the time. The kings would make sure everybody in the street join in the holy name, chanting Hare Krishna in the street, join the Sankirtan. They would make sure everybody follows Ekadashi. They'd make sure that they go to the temple. like they go to the church on the weekend. That was such a wonderful king. They would play the drum, top of the mountain, big drum, very loudly, so everyone can hear. Today is Ekadashi, because they didn't have, internet at that time, and all this. So they would tell everybody, today is Ekadashi. Today is, so and so's appearance day. They have this BC, right? Before Christ, and AD. Before Christ, and it's AD. It's not AD anymore. It's AP. It's after Prabhupada. It's now. After Srila Prabhupada. Before Srila Prabhupada, after Srila Prabhupada. They're going to change the history. Srila Prabhupada creating the history. The real history is that not the modern history. Spiritual history is created by Prabhupada. Yeah. Before BP, before Prabhupada, AP, after Prabhupada. So, Krishna consciousness is a very wonderful process because it starts in the beginning of the creation. Beginning of the creation is when Lord Brahma created this universe. There's already the process of devotional service were available. Because that's why the intelligent people are accepting it. Why Narad Muni has to instruct them? Why need Narad Muni come to us and tell us directly? Because we're not intelligent enough. Narad Muni, a great devotee, is a spiritual messenger from the spiritual world. He will be traveling around the universe and instructing these people of Satya Yuga and kings. But Narad Muni didn't come us to tell us because we came from the monkeys. He doesn't want to talk to us. Sometime Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, I've heard stories when during the kirtan in the temple, big kirtans happening, and devotees would be doing a wild kirtan, like sometime we do here, wild. And Prabhupada said, the demigods were here. Brahma was here, Narad Muni was here. Didn't you see? We didn't see anybody. As Prabhupada could see. There was a big Harinam Kirtan outside in Mayapur, middle of night. And Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he got up and he went there, he joined the Kirtan. He heard big Kirtan. There's a road outside Mayapur. That road, it's called Bhaktivedanta Road. So, in the middle of the night, there was a huge, big Harinam. And so, this Harinam, so they said, where's this Harinam coming from? This is the middle of the night. They said the demigods, they're doing a Harinam. The demigods, they come on Harinam in Mayapur. How fortunate we are. We could do Harinam in Melbourne. And he don't show up. He's too busy, family life, children, my home, my car, my TV, and this and that. There's nothing is ours. If devotees of Krishna, we are entangled in the material world, then the karmis don't have a chance. We have intelligence, we have knowledge that this is, Bhaktivedanta Thakur said, Arpilo tuapade nanda kishore. Everything belongs to you that I offer to your lotus feet. My family, my children, my home, everything I offer to you. So if we are in ignorance means to think something doesn't belong to me, it belongs to me. That's ignorance. That's the meaning of Maya. Illusion. Something doesn't exist, but you think it's yours. That's Maya. Sometimes I think, we chant Hare Krishna, how come I am not able to enjoy it? Because we are not really embracing it fully from the heart. We are brushing it just over the top. Just like long time ago, the American devotee asked me to put butter on the bread. This is in India, before I came here, just his age. I was thinking, this guy is crazy. Why he put butter on the bread? And in India, we put butter, but we eat bread with sabji and dip it in. So we put butter on. So he asked me to put butter. I didn't know how to do this, like a knife, and so it's just all over my hand. Butter was on my hand. So he said he showed me. He took. They didn't have a butter knife, so then he took a lot of butter. You can hardly see the bread. So much butter. I said, "Why? You'll die. You eat so much butter." He said, "This is how we eat in America." I said, "Okay." And he bought peanut butter. I didn't know what peanut butter was because I ate peanut, but I had no butter on it. So he showed me. He said, "You guys are in India. You're all poor. You don't put enough butter on it. You're saving it. You have 1 teaspoon. Because in Bengal, we eat 1 tablespoon of ghee on the hot rice, so it goes through. So it's very tasty. Also, the ghee is very nice, homemade ghee. We don't just soak everything in the ghee. We are just flavoring it. So I'm trying to say that you have to really immerse in yourself in Krishna consciousness. Don't just brush it a little bit. Then you won't enjoy it. If you are an enjoyer, then really you want to enjoy nicely, isn't it? If you're from Gujarat, I ask you make a lassi, and I give you a glass of just. In Gujaratis, they have lassi. It's just very thick, right? It goes all over your face. That's proper lassi. That's the milkshake. In Bengal, lassi is ghol. It's the buttermilk. It's just watery. Saas. But it's very watery. I don't like it. I like the Gujarati. It's very thick. And you can really enjoy it. It goes down your throat. So, if you want to enjoy Krishna consciousness, you really need to understand the deeper principle of Krishna consciousness. The enjoyment is not subtle. It's deeper than subtle, deeper than shallow, very deep. Like you don't have time to eat. You enjoy Krishna consciousness so much. You don't relish material things. You relish spiritual things. That's real enjoyment. Even when you take prasadam, you enjoy it. Because when you take prasadam in our temple, you have the same rice, dal, sabji you can get in an Indian restaurant. But it's not the same. Because we don't have chili, we don't put onion, garlic. It's not very tasty. We're not putting the bata all pasted, and it's very simple. But people love it. People love it. Why? Because it's being offered to Krishna. It's very simple because so people want to enjoy, but they don't know what is real enjoyment is. They're eating chili only. They're not eating the sabji. They're just going. They're suffering. They're not enjoying it. You go to some places, the food is so hot. All you can hear, everybody is making the sound. They're not enjoying the meal. You go up here, everyone is really enjoying because you can really taste the prasad. So you have to understand the principle of enjoyment. The principle of enjoyment is spiritual enjoyment, not material enjoyment. You guys, they bring this huge plate from Radha Pallava. I carry the plate from here to the kitchen. If you take the lid off, there's so much on it. I'm thinking, wow, I can eat it all, this is not a problem. Take it to the ashram, no one's going to see. They won't say, I'm a senior devotee, this guy here, let him enjoy. I didn't feel like eating it. I could take all that, put in my pocket, the sweets, and I have a lot of pockets, and nobody would mind. But I felt so much more enjoyment by sharing with you. When I saw the people eating upstairs, I come up, so everyone, oh, thank you. I feel more pleasure than just eating it myself. So the enjoyment is much more deeper than just taking it for yourself. Try to understand what is Krishna consciousness. As people say, oh, what are you doing for the world? He's just going Hare Hare Krishna in the street chanting. What are you doing for the world? Hare, the chanting Hare Krishna is the thing that's bringing the peace. Don't you know? This is what you're missing. You're too busy make money, and you are the one who is suffering. We're enjoying because this is where the enjoyment is. This is where the real happiness is. You think, how can it be just Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, all the pleasure comes? Of course. Why would God himself be doing chanting Hare Krishna? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting Hare Krishna. Because he wanted to experience what Radharani is experiencing. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayana. Why he is the combination of Radha and Krishna? Because he wanted to know why Radharani is so much enjoying. What is she's got? That's why. So people say, you chanting Hare Krishna, and how can everything go into its place? And how can you be happy? You don't go on Harinam once, and you just go on the other side of the road. On the other opposite side of the road, they're chanting. You'll see, wow, these guys are really enjoying. You'll see, you're really missing out. So these people thinking, they're just jealous. They're just jealous of Hare Krishna. So, the real Krishna consciousness, the real happiness is through performance of devotional service. Sharing with others Krishna consciousness. So this is why Narada Muni traveled universe to universe. He is the original preacher. Like the guy in front of the Flinders Street, the guy there with the Bible. He stands on a platform and he's telling about Jesus is the way, and shouting at everybody. Not one single person stopped for him to listen to him. I said, oh, poor guy. Because that's not the way to do it. You have to make more palatable, isn't it? Like if you want to give medicine to a child, they don't want it. Then he sugar-coated it. They say, bahut acha. They eat it up. But there's medicine in it, sugar-coated. So if you're telling about, you're going to hell if you don't chant Hare Krishna, you're going to hell with us, no one's going to accept that. Come to the temple and take prasadam and cook. And gradually they love it. Srila Prabhupada himself, he himself was cooking for the people in the beginning and cleaned the dishes, everything. Wonderful food. Made chapatis, he bought the tiffin with him and he cooked for others. He sat under a tree chanting Hare Krishna. We have everything today. Prabhupada has given us everything. All we have to do is maintain it. And we're finding it difficult. This is not the place for me. Everything is here. Temples here, deities here, prasad, everything is there. Still we find difficult. So we struggle ourselves with our senses. We are struggling ourselves with the mind. We are struggling ourselves with our senses and our body. Influence of Maya, this is the problem we have, that we have to face with. Krishna consciousness is easy. Taking prasadam is all bodacha, everything is fantastic. Association. But that one problem we have is our mind. We try to sit down and chant, such a struggle. Struggle with try to stay awake. Get up, try to get up and chant, walk around, so much struggle. So the problem, there's no problem. The problem is with ourselves. That problem is we find to increase our devotion for Krishna, to increase our love for Krishna, to increase the quality of our chanting. This is the struggle. But that's good struggle. We want to do that struggle. That is the whole idea of practicing Krishna consciousness. The whole idea of Krishna consciousness is to become Krishna conscious through these various means of different struggle. But that struggle is bhakti, your love, your endeavor to perform Krishna consciousness. Your devotion is not just a talk, it's service, working hard. Our founder, Guru Srila Prabhupada, worked so hard. And we just sit in front of a computer. Punch this key, punch that key, ho gaya. No, we have to work hard physically. Everybody has the duty. But devotional service is not just a talk. It's hard work. It's hard work. And it is, that hard work is very wonderful. It's very beautiful, hard work. He's sharing with others. I'm working here in the kitchen, and go in there, and people are chatting, coming in, saying this and that. I'm just meditating, cooking. I love it. I'm thinking, I'm completely oblivious to what's going on around me. There are other Bengali boys and others, they come in, going on, and they're taking time to transfer the push food, and they're talking, so much going on. I'm not paying any attention. I'm just cooking for Radha Ballabha, for Krishna. This meditation, people think, I want to go to the forest and meditate. And that's not meditation. Meditation starts here, service. This is meditation. Devotional service is meditation. It's the highest meditation. Bhakti-amamajayati, Krishna says, through devotion you can know me. He didn't say go to the forest. Srila Prabhupada didn't go to the forest. He went where the people are, the city. All our temples are in the city. The people there, they need it the most to become Krishna conscious. In the forest, there's no one there. That was those days, different time. So the kings, they were very Krishna conscious. Jajat Asarati says thus. The top people, they're exemplary. And they set the example for the general people. So every devotee in a Hare Krishna movement, every devotee in our temple have a duty. Our duty is to make others Krishna conscious. Our duty is to become Krishna conscious ourselves and to make others Krishna conscious. You see, sometimes the sannyasis, the Maharaj was here the whole last week, he gave a class. He has a duty. You have to hold the danda wherever you go, the stick. It's not easy. You travel in the airplane, how you can carry that stick with you? But every time you come, you have to hold. It's like holding a bead bag. You need to hold the staff. That's the protection. At least for 10 years after you need sannyas. So now they have a folding danda. You can put it in your suitcase. They're making in Mayapur. So you need to carry that, and every day you need to give class. You need to be in the room studying it, people challenging. So they're having such a good time, traveling here, traveling there, and everywhere people are serving, they're getting the Maha plate, and people and getting all the worship. I spoke to this Maharajas, not only him. I said, how you can accept all this? Don't you get proud and people falling at you? He said, no, it's very difficult for us. We are always on the spotlight. And people are worshipping us, and they sing. If they do anything wrong, immediately, look at him. They'll criticize you. So you have to be on top of everything. You have to be very exemplary of Krishna consciousness. This is very austere. And if they feed you nice food, you will get sick if you can't digest. So then you go on a diet, it's only fruits and salad. That's why I don't travel with Maharaj, because their prashadam is so austere. Austere. Because if everywhere you go, they're offering you, nice apple and prashad, you're not God, you can't digest that. And you're traveling airplane every day, you're going to get sick, the nerves will break down. You got to rest. We're not Narada Muni. He can fly, he has spiritual body. After a while, you give him Bhagavatam class, Jaya Radha Madhava, because you don't even have sleep. This is why Srila Prabhupada, he used to do morning walk every day, wherever he went, morning walk. And he had afternoon nap. He had 2 hours of massage. Prabhupada was very practical. It's not that pure devotee, they don't touch the ground because their feet doesn't touch the floor. They are another level. No. They have the material body. They have accepted this material suffering, but they're not affected by it. They don't identify with these things. They're always Krishna conscious. That's the difference. So, you have to see, if we are not present in Krishna consciousness, somebody else will take your place. Nowadays, there's so many different movements. They're taking the Hare Krishna movement instead of us. They say, we are also Hare Krishnas. Because we are not there, they're taking the credit on behalf of us. Where are we? You don't go Harinam, then someone else will go Harinam. They're doing Hare Krishna Kirtan in the yoga center also. They're taking our credit. They're chanting Hare Krishna everything. Of course, they didn't say Jai Srila Prabhupada. They're chanting all the things, because started by Prabhupada. Prabhupada should be getting the credit. But because we are too busy, we don't go on Harinam, and someone else is taking up our place. Different groups are these days. So always remember, it's because of Prabhupada we are here. It's His mercy. Put Prabhupada in the forefront. Give Him the credit. Because of Prabhupada, people are vegetarian today and vegan and all these things. Because ISKCON started. 20, 30 years ago, nobody talked about vegetarian. I came to Melbourne in the 80s. You can go to the supermarket, they don't have anything which is Indian. You can buy basmati rice in Coles today. You know, Indian rice and all the spices. I was surprised because I came back here after 15 years. So you can get everything. Because I lived in China, I can get anything Indian. You can't even find an Indian person. Because they go to where there's money, like here. So I'm saying that Prabhupada's mercy, people are becoming vegetarian, people are becoming God conscious. Slowly, whole world becoming Krishna conscious. You know, climate change is nothing. You know, one of the demigods can go, it's all cleaned. They just blow, the universe is all cleaned up. One demigod. So, real cleanliness begins cleansing of our heart, of our consciousness. What we put in our body. Junk food instead of prasadam, Coca-Cola instead of nice juice offered to Krishna, Charanamrita. Instead of drinking clean water, we are putting in all kinds of sugary drink, soft drink. This is why people are crazy. Because these things make them very uneasy. And potato chips. I've been to some devotees' home, they're eating potato chips. Kids and corn chips and all this junk food. You know, here we have, so it have to be very, very strict. So change comes from within yourself. Then you can change the world. Go on Harinam, immerse yourself in chanting. Why Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev? They are singing too much, so much observing, singing and dancing, their head went inside the body, the arms went inside. That's why we worship them. They were in ecstasy. They were so much in ecstasy that the blood was coming from the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We play the mridanga, we get a cut. But these guys, they don't play hard enough. It's too much into fancy, you know. I play mridanga, I get blood coming. Sore arms. So when you don't give yourself enough service to Krishna, then we take it easy. Then we are just here to enjoy. Instead of ourselves enjoying, only instead of serving Krishna nicely, we become the enjoyer instead of Krishna. Just like if you are serving the people and there's a feast, you have to make sure you don't drool over the food. Oh, I want to eat. You're there to serve the people. You have to remain detached from it. I remember in the beginning, I was a Gurukul boy. They said, you guys have to serve the senior people on a feast days. I said, no way. I want to sit down and eat. Let them serve me. So many food, on the feast days, so much food. And the worst thing you want to do is serve the devotees. You just want to enjoy, sit with everyone and enjoy. And there was actually one devotee, he used to serve everyone, very humble, serve everyone, any day, no feast, non-feast, and he eat what's left in the bottom of the bucket. Sometimes there's none left because everybody eats so much. And he would just scrape that and put it on a plate. I said, wow. I was thinking how I can be like that. And I have a big plate and eating, and he was just like that. And he was totally happy. He was very detached. He was totally happy with getting. So I used to think, one day maybe I can be like that. So even if we are not like that, at least we have to have some desire to be like that. But you need to understand, it doesn't come easy, that kind of feeling. We have to have some alternative to go with it. You know that Krishna consciousness is a higher pleasure. So this thing doesn't bother us. You see someone in a very nice car and very nice this, you're not attached to it because you're not the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. We can enjoy those things. But when you share with people, when you serve the people, when you serve Krishna, the pleasure is so much more. That subtle pleasure is what we strive on, is what we feed on. A devotee feeds on that pleasure, is what keeps us going. If you didn't chant Hare Krishna here, you go watch the movie, eat something. What kind of life is that? Every day you kind of watch the same movie. We're chanting Hare Krishna every day. Same thing. Hare Krishna, open every day. But we're not bored because the pleasure of Krishna consciousness is so much more, so much variety. We're only getting not even a drop. And we think, wow, so nice. When you're actually getting the real pleasure, deep like the ocean of mercy, we'll not be here anymore. So how we can chant Hare Krishna every day eat the khichdi upstairs every day, and you're totally happy because this blissfulness is there. Krishna is in the food. Krishna is there in the prasadam. But if you're thinking, you enjoy, but you will not feel that. So if you're not chanting Hare Krishna, if you're not associating a devotee, you don't take prasadam, you go to watch the movie, and eat popcorn while you're watching the movie. And then you find a girlfriend, and then she leaves, and you find another one, and then it just goes on and on. It's a miserable life. One guy I was talking with, he was crying, he said his girlfriend left him. I said, best you don't have a girlfriend. You come to Hare Krishna temple, we are much more happy, He said, no, and someone told me, if you left, fantastic, just get another one. I said, you just go on and on. This is life. Don't think they're going to be better than others. Everybody's same. The Srila Prabhupada, our founder guru, he was married once. And some of our people, they keep trying, married 4 or 5 times. What is this? Haven't we learned our lesson? Pleasure in the chanting is not, okay, I need someone to serve me. And many people, they didn't have anyone to serve them, but they're just as happy. Right? So, we want people to serve us, or we want to serve Krishna? Okay, I didn't have my clothes ironed, but it's just as good. Walk around, come to temple with silk and, everything. It doesn't matter. Wear simple clothes. Idea here, we are here to attract Krishna. It's to please Krishna. Not ourselves is the center of everything. We're not the center. Krishna is the center. And I'm doing the kirtan, and this and that. I cook the thing. What are we? At the time of death, if there is a tsunami coming here, big ocean, all of a sudden this ocean rises up, come over, everyone's going to be running for life. It doesn't matter who you are, looking for shelter. It doesn't matter, you're a VIP or not. Everyone's going, okay, I gotta go somewhere to save yourself. So at the time of death, we don't hold any post. We are just, in the spiritual world, we are all servant to Krishna. Krishna is sitting there, playing flute. And we may be eating mangoes. Krishna, He's watching us. He's a devotee enjoying. There's no jealousness. Here in the mature world, it's full of jealousness. I'm thinking, I'm the enjoyer. So when you think yourself is the enjoyer, that there's going to be a problem. Because other people don't have it, you have, so there's become a big trouble. Oh yeah, China is taking over the world, America is not. So there's a war. So this is international. It all starts with our ego. When we know Krishna is the enjoyer, we are not the enjoyer. Then all the problem is solved. Isn't it? We don't even need to cook because they don't want to eat. They just take prasadam. The world's going to be a better place. There's no food industry anymore because everybody takes prasadam. Sometimes they don't even want to eat cooked food because they just want green things, relief. That's even better. We don't need to cook. We can just chant Hare Krishna all day. They say, what's going to happen to the world if everybody chant Hare Krishna? That's going to be fantastic. Everyone's happy. Chanting Hare Krishna, singing, dancing, and people don't need to drive, go to work. You can imagine so much, you cut off so many things of miseries of life. People don't need to work so hard. Just chant Hare Krishna. That's what they do in the spiritual world. Every day chanting Hare Krishna. So, hours and hours, how can they do it? They must be tired because they have spiritual body. They don't get tired. Here we get tired. I remember I led a Rath Yatra, Kirtan Rath Yatra in India. That time I was a Gurukul boy. For 6 hours. My teacher told me, whoever stay in the Kirtan right through the end, they will get a prize. I said, I'll stay. But I didn't think of the prize. After some time I wasn't thinking of prize. I was thinking, I was enjoying. And all the devotees left. It was just me and all the Indian people. There are 3 carts. This is in Gujarat. And all the devotees tired. They were on the cart and here and there in the juice bar. And I was 6 hours. And I was in ecstasy. And all the people were with me, they were saying Hare Rama, Hare Rama, and they were saying Krishna after. Hare Krishna. Because in India they sing Hare Rama first sometimes, some places. So I stopped the kirtan, I said, Nahi, Krishna first, then Rama after. And they said, okay. And then after a few minutes they started Rama again. They forget. So it was very frustrating. But then it was an ecstasy. I felt so good. So, we have the energy. While we have the energy, we should use it serving Krishna. Serving Krishna it's not just a talk. You have to immerse yourself in it. If I say, this honey is this Manuka honey from New Zealand, I can tell you all about it. It's in front of your eyes. But you're not going to really understand what is honey till you open and drink it. Have a spoon of it, put on your bread. Wow, now I know what is honey. So you just talk about it all the time. Oh yeah, then it's dry. This is philosophy. When you immerse yourself, actively engage yourself in Krishna's service, then you relish it, then you enjoy it. Wow, now I know what it is like. Before I was just talking. We are talking, but our heart may be something else. Then it's just philosophy. We study. It has to come from realization, understanding from the heart. Prabhupada, he's pure devotee. He already has it all. We only have to study and tell others. But for him it was natural because he was pure devotee by birth. He already had, and we just talk about it. So, this is the duty of the prachetas, this is the duty of Narada Muni, is to become detached ourselves. Don't be too attached to this mature world, to position and power and respect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. I don't want beautiful women, I don't want followers, I don't want material wealth. Why he said that? Because these things come when you chant Hare Krishna. Material wealth comes if pouring onto you. You see, devotees is not poor. I know devotees, one mother says, oh, I don't have enough money, this, that. And she's always traveling around the world. I said, you don't have money, but you're traveling around the world. I always see her here and see her in Europe when I used to travel. So how you can, somehow, she said, no, somehow, but I don't have money. It's all magic. No, Krishna take care of us. You can break your head against the wall, but things not going to change. Because Krishna take care of you. I want this to change, I want this way. Sometimes I make a big list. Today I'm going to make Rajbhog exactly like this. And I come in the kitchen and I change the menu, everything. When I see the devotees and I see the things, I forget why I made the list. Everything changed because Krishna doesn't want that way. Krishna wants you to do another way. So we make our plan, but still we should make a plan to serve Krishna. Still, you have to. If there is change different later, that's okay. But you still need to make a plan. But, so my point is, Krishna is in charge. One of the first words I learned in Hare Krishna movement, who is in charge here? Because Westerners, they always say like that, I'm in charge. So I said, what English word you learn? I said, I learned this word, I'm in charge. Because everybody said they're in charge. And the second word I learned is sleep, because we're always tired. They all talk about sleep. So I didn't get enough sleep. The second word, sleep. And third word was, the first word actually, no mangalarati, no prasadam. That's the first word, because they cut you prasadam if you didn't go to mangalarati. Somebody was taking attendance. So, my point is that we have to always understand why we are here. And let Krishna control us. Let Krishna's devotee. Krishna's devotees always full of bliss. Because we are not seeing the material things. Oh, I'm so tired today. Oh, I don't have money. I need this. This is just all nonsense. This is all, you're all whinging like an old man. Oh, no. When I was young and forget it. Be positive about Krishna consciousness. Everything will come. Don't whinge. This is how, I don't like people who whinge. You come in the kitchen, and then, Prabhu, I have to go attend to this, that. I said, don't come if you have this idea. If you're coming to help me, you stay here till the end. Otherwise, don't come. So it's just always whinging, and this is Krishna. You're displeasing Prabhupada, displeasing Krishna, you're displeasing devotee. Be more positive, be more fired up in serving Krishna, and Krishna will bless you. Always. You go to join the army, they will check how your condition is. If you're a strong person, you can perform. So similarly, if you are going to serve Krishna, you have to make sure that we are capable of serving Krishna nicely. Not holding desire and so many things and put you one, we have to be, beginning is easy, later the test will come. The test is to become 100%. No, don't tell me 100%. No one can be 100%. We're so attached to material things. At least be 70%, but put in the effort for serving Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Prabhu, you were telling about the Rath Yatra in Gujarat. Where was it? Where was it?
There was Surat. Just somewhere in Surat in the city. And that was in the 1980. Yeah, long time ago, huh? I love that time, 1980s. Yeah, you were in Sydney, I used to come to your home, 1984, 85. Yeah, in Newcastle. Yeah.
Many people, thousands of people in the Rath Yatra.
A lot of people. 3 different carts, big carts, hundreds, maybe 50,000 people. Yeah. In India, it's not like here, big, lot of people. That time also there was a lot of people, more people than the devotees. Questions? He always throwing question like a machine gun. What is the question today? So, didn't have many people today. Yeah, I had to give a class on the weekend when I was here. Sometime in the kitchen they say, "Oh, very nice class." But you weren't there, but they hear on the line. That's what they're recording. They hear online. Okay. Dhruva Maharaj, any questions?
How can we get more devotees to come on Harinam?
If you come, then others will come. Like I said, we have to start with ourselves. Yes?
Lord Krishna says, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yajana Paripase Tesham Yuktanam Yokshimu Vayamana. So how to have full concentration in Krishna? How to absorb your mind in Krishna's lotus feet? Some tips, you want to give some tips?
Tips. Yes. Just like I said about the honey. You can look at the honey and talk about it, and not just honey, everything. If you really want to taste it, you have to dive into it. You have to practice it, you have to do it. And people, they work very hard to get a college degree and then they get a job. So they're working. They put in the effort. So spiritual life, you also need to put the effort. You have to work hard at it. And to inspire ourselves, sadhu sangha, associated devotee. Just like you're sitting in the Bhagavatam class. When you hear, you feel, oh yeah, it's good. You give this talk and I'm inspired by it. So when you hear from a devotee, when you're attending the program, when you're chanting Hare Krishna, that's how we inspire ourselves. That's how we can get the inspiration spiritually. But if you don't come here, it's difficult on our own. Ekaki amai nahi paibal harinama sankirtan. Bhaktivedanta Thakur said, I didn't have the strength to chant Hare Krishna on my own, but when you do it together, then I can. So it's easy. Just need to be in company of devotees. They can check us. And when the devotees tell us off, we said, oh, I'm not going to the temple again. They tell me off. But Krishna is telling you through the devotee. We have to see in a very subtly what we are here. We are being checked. At home, nobody will check you. We are here, we are being checked. Because this is what we want, after all. We want devotees to check us. We want devotees to... You want initiation, you want sannyas, you want so many things. But we don't practice, we won't get there. So you want recommendation, we have to please the devotees. We have to please Krishna in the company of devotees. So there's many ways. Basically, these temples are here so we can be here to practice. And so these temples are an inspiration for us to uplift ourselves spiritually. Not just for us, especially for us and others. Yeah. Otherwise, we could just go to the mountain and meditate. But that's not the process for this age. Okay?
So you are preaching in a group. Some young ones ask, like Krishna asked, what is Krishna consciousness? What do you say? How do you define Krishna consciousness?
Well, when you say consciousness, it's consciousness, not only thinking of Krishna, also, that is the ultimate thing, but everything that we do, we are doing consciously. We have to be very subtle, understand more deeper. Just like cooking, or doing service, anything we need to do perfectly, nicely. Conscious of our behavior, conscious of what we say, what we eat, our activities, our lifestyle. Be conscious. Oh yeah, this is for Krishna. I'm making these garlands for Krishna. So it should be very nice flower, very nicely done. It's not for me. Just like if you're doing it for your husband or your wife or children, you care for it. So you're thinking, I'm for Krishna. That's Krishna consciousness. Everything we do, When you see a beautiful flower, this belongs to Krishna. That's how Prabhupada used to say. I'm cooking, not just for family, but it's for Krishna. So let me do it nicely. Let me make it perfect. And not just you chant Hare Krishna and that's bas. We have to understand other things in connection to serving Krishna. Yeah. I wear nice clothes, so come to temple, clean clothes, take a shower, and mind is clean, don't think of other things. This is Krishna conscious. Not simply chanting Hare Krishna and that's it. Ho gaya, and you go out and do everything. This is professionalism. Like somebody, they talk on devotional service in the university. When the rasas, the pastimes of gopis. And when they finish, they go out and have light a cigarette. That's professionalism. They haven't actually understood because they haven't changed their lifestyle. They're just doing it as a profession, but they're not practicing. That's not devotional. Devotional means there has to be change in ourselves. Yeah.
What you're saying is you have to establish connection, strong connection.
Yeah. You have to convince yourself. When you do it yourself, then others will. That's what I was saying before, as a leader. Leader is one who shows by example. Yeah. If I say, I don't smoke and you're smoking, they will not listen. You're smoking. Like that. If you're Krishna conscious, then it becomes more powerful. Apane achar, then prachar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Haridas Thakur, you do all. You not only say, but you're also doing it. That's why it's very powerful, very effective in this age. People promise, yeah, and they forget the promise. But actually, if you do it, it's more effective. Yeah.
Not like politicians.
Like what?
Not like politicians making promises and then breaking it.
Yeah.
Just for the vote.
Yeah.
And when they won the election,
Yeah.
forget voting.
Yeah. Exactly.
Think about voting.
Exactly.
So if in the early days the kings were so good to the people, how did the link get broken?
That's what Krishna says. Nasta prayasya, but he says that time. In time, gradually, it gets lost. It's just like if I say to you, and then you say to them, the same instruction, gradually it gets distorted and misled, and people speculate. So the original context becomes lost. Similarly, that time was intact. And gradually, due to the influence of Kali Yuga today, ages by ages, it gets lost by the time we get to this age. So that time, Satya Yuga is a long time ago, that people are very pure. That time, it's Kali Yuga now, the Iron Age. That was the Golden Age. So it's a big difference. So it's just like if it becomes watered down, diluted. There's no more purity. Not long ago you can drink the water from the river. Now you have to buy water, filter water. So what happened to the river water? People they're throwing rubbish and chemicals, and so similarly it gets lost, the purity gets lost. So Prabhupada used to give example like milk. Milk is all very nutritious. You can drink, unless if you can't digest, that's another thing. People become vegan, they don't want milk. But if milk touched by a serpent, you can't drink that, it becomes poisonous. So the knowledge, purity, is spoken, same thing, by somebody who is jealous and envious of Krishna. They will give their interpretation. They'll say, there's no God, I'm God, or whatever. So that purity is gone. And there's many ways to understand that. Even though milk is pure and really good, but if it's drunk by a snake, the poison, it has poisonous effect if you drink that. So similarly, the spiritual knowledge is there, but then it gets lost through interpretation. Various speculators who give their own interpretation. So that purity of that knowledge gets lost in time. So that's why Prabhupada comes and others, pure people comes to establish that dharma stapina, to establish that dharma again, the religious principles. This is why they appear. And to destroy the demoniac, Krishna says. Yeah. This is why Jesus came and others came, people come to establish that dharma, the religious principles again. And then again gets lost. So this is a cycle. Because people here are rebellious in this Kali, in this material world. We come here to defy, God and His existence. So we try to do everything to try to be ourselves within center, so that purity of the spiritual knowledge gets in the background. We become in the forefront.
So context means nothing unless it has content.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not going to be Prasharam today. Fasting today. So go on. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.